Hi. Okay, so I just left my therapist, and the session today was about control. It was an interesting message because I have a problem with wanting to control everything, which I think everyone these days has an issue with that. So we were talking about control, and one of the problems that I have with my grief is that I try to replay the last few weeks of my pregnancy to in hopes, she says it's like a movie, like I'm replaying the ending of a movie in hopes that the ending will change, or that I can change the ending, and I can't change anything. Throughout my pregnancies, I was always a worrywart. I'm got a little bit of hypochondriac in me, so I constantly tried to foresee these types of things. And what did that do for me? Nothing. We have no control over this life. We have no control. I mean, people try to control so much that they give themselves anxiety, and they give themselves panic because they start to feel like they're out of control. Their lives are out of control. So we were talking about that, and we were talking about the fact that that's a big part of grief, is how could we have changed this? What could we have done differently? And the truth is that there's nothing that we could have done differently. And thinking about that was making me realize, yes, I tried to control that. I tried to avoid something. I mean, that was my biggest fear. My boys are my heart, my whole entire heart. But my girl, she was my soul. And when I found out that she was a girl, and I was sitting in that ultrasound room, and she said it was a girl, when I tell you, the pure joy, just was like euphoria was over my body. There was nothing more in this world that I wanted at that moment than a girl. And I got it. And I remember, I think back to that ultrasound, I'm like, I was so, is she okay? Is everything okay? How does her heart look? How does this look? How does that look? Like, I was so paranoid at that moment, like something was going to ruin this for me. Something would happen, and it did. And I can't change that. And in that aspect, we're talking about it and talking about how much I wanted that, and how much I could not control that or the outcome of that pregnancy. And it brought me to tears, and to realize, like, it just came out of me, if I had not lost Emma, I would not be the same person that I am today. And I'm grateful for that, because I have more compassion. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. I'm more in the moment. I'm more present for my boys. And I think that I'm blessed. I mean, that in such a tragedy and such an awful loss, I feel grateful for the things that did come out of it. Me and my family were closer. Me and my husband were closer. I feel more connected than I ever have to, people that are going through loss, through people who are pregnant and going through that journey. And I just, came to that realization with her, and she says to me, a lot of people don't handle their grief like this. A lot of people don't have this outlook. And it's almost, to me, like you were prepared for this. Did you ever have anything traumatic happen in your past? And I was like, no. I'm really, truly never really lost anybody. I mean, I've never really, this whole grief thing, this loss is new to me. But when she said that, it was like a light went off, because I really have been prepared for this. I mean, God has had his hands all over me, because the strength that I have is supernatural. Like, I don't know where I get it from. I don't know sometimes how I can still laugh, how I can talk about her, how I can share pictures of her, how I can feel peace in this loss. And like I said in my last video, that is God's grace. When something like this happens, and it says it in the Bible, when something this awful happens, tragedy, through awful things, God is glorified the most. That's when he is glorified. That is when you can actually encounter him and feel, and give his grace, his love, his mercy. I mean, what I feel today is a love from God that I never, ever in my wildest dreams I would have ever imagined. And I wanted to share that today. It's a quick video. It's just, I feel blessed, and I'm sad, and I would change the circumstances if I could, but I can't. And what I've gotten out of her loss is far bigger than maybe even what she could have done in her lifetime. What people have gotten from that. So I want to share that with people. Anybody who's grieving or who's feeling, out of control in their life right now. I just wanted to share that. So, yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and God bless.